And you talk to Mahomes. He knew they were coming cover zero, all-out blitz, one-on-one coverage. Mahomes trusted his receiver, MVS, in one-on-one coverage. Great play by Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
The kiss seen around the world. The trophy, the Lamar Hunt Trophy, stays fittingly in Kansas City to the chagrin of the Ravens. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens, who brought their defense, neither got to 20, but the Chiefs are moving on to the Super Bowl where they have a chance to defend and go back-to-back. And the Ravens' wonderful season has come to a close. Now you wonder, Patrick Mahomes and history. Look, his history is early here, right? He's 14-3 in the playoffs. 10 or more postseason starts. That's the second best percentage as we stand now. Bart Starr, by the way, lost the first one. Won the next 9, and everyone except Jim Plunkett, who was great, is in the Hall of Fame here, who is retired. And you see Terry, Troy, Tom, Joe. Pretty good list. That Patrick Mahomes is almost first on. Jeff Darlington with Travis Kelce.
Travis, another Super Bowl in a year that perhaps to some felt like the unlikeliest chance that you guys had. What do you say about that?
The Chiefs are still the Chiefs, baby. And damn, it feels good to be on this team, man. There's a lot of camaraderie on this team, man. A lot of, we had to really circle the wagons. And man, it feels good to be at this point, but we got one more.
I want to call it the Travis Kelce era, but it also is the Patrick Mahomes era. He has gone to 4 Super Bowls in his first 6 years. What can you say about your quarterback?
the best in the world, baby. You can't say enough great things about Pat, and no better than that last throw right there to Marquez. And man, it was great to see him show up and make sure he just quieted all the haters, baby.
You don't take it for granted either. You never know how many you're going to get to, if you're going to get to any. And so it truly is special. Just to do it with these guys after what we've been through all season long, the guys coming together, it really is special. But I told them, I mean, the job's not done. I mean, our job now is to prepare ourselves to play a good football team in the Super Bowl and try to get that ring.
Did you think you broke the plane at the goal line?
Yeah, I thought I did, honestly. But, I learned from my mistakes.
Coach gonna give a speech, that's his job, but we mad, we got to this position, one game away from the Super Bowl that we all, what I've been talking about, my team been talking about all season, and we fell short. And like I said, offense, we didn't put nothing on the board. We scored once. That's not like us, We drove the ball down the field, that's cool, but we got to put points on the board. But I feel like my team just angry, Not frustrated, we just angry because we know how hard we worked to get here.
Well, there's lots to dissect here. Let's start with the coaches for the Chiefs. This isn't news that Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, defensive coordinator, and the staff, their game plans on both sides. Well, I know they only had 17 points, if you will, but this is the lowest scoring defense, Baltimore. Their game plan was also complementary football because they knew if they could get some sort of lead, Lamar has not trailed by more, which is unbelievable to the credit of Baltimore, has not trailed by more than 7 all year. So could you get a lead? Then it was 7-7, but a lead they were tied, but they never trailed. And what would Baltimore do? Not that anybody shook under pressure, right? But they haven't practiced it, to their credit, coming from behind and playing. And it looked like, at times, I wish we had more practice at this. Is that fair to say?
It's a very fair thing to say, Boone, because not only had you not practiced it, the coaches hadn't called plays.
That's right.
And when you look at how the Kansas City defense played the Baltimore Ravens, to me, that was the story of the game. Defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo against Ty Monken in the Baltimore Raven offense, and I thought Spags was absolutely outstanding. I thought this game plan by Spags, the defensive coordinator of the Chiefs, was akin to the game plan that D'Amico Ryans from the Houston Texans used. And Spags simply said this: I have better players in my secondary. So I can cover Baltimore in the back end. I can cover Zay Flowers. I can cover Odell Beckham. I can cover Nelson Aguilar. And if we put that same type pressure that Houston put on Baltimore in the first half, where Baltimore didn't have any success, we did the same thing. And so I thought it was a great game plan, and that defense played outstanding. And it's been the strength of their team all year, and it was today.
But you can't really get a book on, okay, he's bringing 5 or 6, but we don't exactly know which down and which situation.
Yes, exactly.
For Baltimore, which, my God, their defense is great. But Kansas City knew, Booger, that if they kept it, they'll bring pressure on 3rd and 6, 7 a lot of times. But on 3rd and 4, 3, not so much. And in the first half, Kansas City kept their third downs manageable, I thought.
Well, no doubt about it. And what they did by keeping those third downs manageable is they were able to convert, Boom.
Right.
Able to convert third downs. They put themselves in an advantageous situation. Andy Reid called a great game from an offensive standpoint. And Patrick Mahomes, the ball was coming out of his hands quick. So when the ball is 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, you can throw short passes, and they did that all game.
A part of it was in the very first look. The Ravens' defense, there are tons of great players there, but the best is up the middle, where normally hard to run on, and of course Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen in the middle. So where do you go? At least out of the gates on the outside a little bit. And I thought the Chiefs did that at least for their touchdown drive to start. And these are the three guys that have been catching it the best. Dare we say more? That's Pacheco. Now the quick screen outside to Rashee Rice. And then the touchdown, which you saw earlier, was, again, they only got 17 points. But let's keep it away from the middle where they're the best. And look, Kyle Hamilton's great, although he had to, man up on Travis Kelce. But that was the touchdown to Kelce, and they were moving. It was complimentary football. And we're not going to get 31 points on the Ravens.
And to your point, Boom, it's coaching. What does Bill Belichick always say? I'm going to take away what the opposing team does best and make them play left-handed. I'm not going to run the football at Roquan and Patrick Queen. I'm going to run away from them and get the ball on the outside where I can use my advantage with Pacheco, with Rice, with Kelce. Just a really good job of coaching by the Chiefs.
No, and it wasn't. Look, the Ravens said, but look, they gave up only 17 points, right? But look, the Chiefs they lost to the Raiders with 2 games left in the regular season. We said it on this show. They finally realized we're not them, meaning who we think we'd like to be and have been. We're this.
Yes.
And they've now won 2 regular season and 3 playoff games in a row, and they're going to the Super Bowl because Patrick Mahomes is throwing for 240 yards. So what? We're winning, right? And for Baltimore, nothing to be ashamed of. I know they're down. Lamar and the Ravens made such huge strides. Like, this is a confident and a together team, but they ran into the champs.
It is. Lamar is going to have to go back in the offseason. The throw he made into triple coverage, Todd Monken and their inability to make plays in certain situations. Todd Monken called a bad game for Lamar. Lamar didn't play well. They're going to have to go back this offseason and say, how can we play all season a certain way, and we got in this game and we went a different way?
Right.
Yeah.
3 playoff wins, no turnovers, Mahomes.
Pretty good.